I kicked into the muscles of the horse. Once again it reared, that is, it moved back and snorted. It made noise through its nostrils. Then it began to run. I did not know what to do. Now Aram was riding the horse for the first time alone, and he did not know how to control the horse or how to give him direction. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Daikran Halabian, where it began to leap over vines. So here, because Aram was not able to guide the horse turned to some other direction and it started running down the road, and it went into the vineyard. That is, vineyard is a place where grapes are grown, vines are grapes, and it started leaping over vines. It started jumping over the vines. The horse leaped over 7 vines before I fell, and when the horse jumped again and again, it jumped for 7 times over the vines. Aram fell. He could not control himself, he could not maintain his position, he fell. Then it continued running, and the horse kept on running. My cousin Murad came running down the road. I'm not worried about you, he shouted. We've got to get that horse. So he made it very clear that he was not worried about Aram. He was worried about the horse that had run away. You go this way and I'll go this way. If you come upon him, be kindly. I'll be near. So he instructed Aram that you go in this direction and I will go in the other direction. And if you find the horse, be very kind to it and I will be somewhere near only. I continued down the road and my cousin Murad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. So for half an hour they kept on searching for the horse, and after half an hour Murad found the horse and he brought him back. All right, he said, jump on. Now he told Aram to jump behind him. The whole world is awake. Now it was quite morning and everyone had gotten up. What will we do? I said. Well, he said, we'll either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning. So he had 2 options. He said either we'll take him back or we'll hide him somewhere till tomorrow morning. He didn't sound worried. He was very calm and cool. I knew he'd hide him and not take him back. Not for a while, at any rate. So Aram knew his cousin and he was sure that he was only going to hide him. He was not going to return the horse. Where will we hide him? I said. I know a place, he said. How long ago did you steal this horse? I said. Now Aram was very curious. He wanted to know that when did you steal this horse? For how long you have been riding this horse? It suddenly dawned on me that he had been taking these early morning rides for some time and had come for me this morning only because he knew how much I longed to ride. So he suddenly realized, dawned upon him, he suddenly realized that Murad had been taking these early morning rides for quite some time, and because he knew that Aram also was very fond of riding horses, so he came for him today. Who said anything about stealing a horse? He said. Now Murad, he said, who told you about stealing? He had never admitted that he had stolen the horse. Anyhow, I said, how long ago did you begin riding every morning? So he changed his question. He did not mention any stealing, and he just put it plainly that how long have you been riding the horse in the morning? Not until this morning, he said. He did not want to disclose, so he said, not until this morning. Are you telling the truth? I said. Of course not, he said. But if we are found out, that's what you are to say. So he agreed that he was not telling the truth, and at the same time he said that if we are found and if anybody asks you, you have to tell that we rode it only today. I don't want both of us to be liars. Now he said that if you knew and if you said that we have started riding only from that day, then even you will be a liar. So I don't want you to be a liar. So it is better you don't know this. All you know is that we started riding this morning. So he says that you should know only this much. You need not know all the other facts which cannot be disclosed. All right, I said. He walked the horse quietly to the barn of a deserted vineyard. Deserted, abandoned. No one was using this vineyard, which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fetvergian. So it was, now it was abandoned, but earlier it was a pride of the farmer. It was the pride of a farmer. It must have been very well kept and all. So, and the owner must have been quite proud of it. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. So, there was some leftover oats and dried alfalfa in the barn. We began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. So now he told him that it was not very easy to manage the horse the way he was managing him. At first, it wanted to run wild. The horse did not want to let him sit on him, ride on him. But as I've told you, I have a way with the horse. I can get it to want to do anything I want it to do. So he, at the same time, he did not stop from boasting. He said that I have a way. I have a way with the horse, and I can get it to want. I can make the horse want what I want, the same thing. Horses understand me. He says that I have a way with the horse. We can understand each other. So the horse also can understand me. How do you do it? I said. I have an understanding with the horse, he said. Yes, but what sort of an understanding? I said. A simple and honest one, he said. Well, I said, I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that with a horse. Now, Aram also wanted to be as easy and as good at riding. So, he wanted to ask Murad as to what kind of understanding he had with the horse and how did he develop that. But Murad said that it was just a simple and honest one. That was all he disclosed about it. You're still a small boy, he said. When you get to be 13, you'll know how to do it. So now he said, you're just a small boy. That is why you don't know. When you grow older, you'll become 13 years old. Then you will know how to reach an understanding with the horse. I went home and ate a hearty breakfast. He went home and he ate a nice heavy breakfast. He was very pleased with himself, and because of the exercise also he must have been hungry, so he ate a very hearty breakfast. That afternoon my uncle Khusro came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlour sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Bairo, an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. So Uncle Khusro was at his house and he was drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, and he was remembering about the old country when another visitor came. He was a farmer and his name was John Bairo. He was an Assyrian and he was very lonely, so he learned to speak Armenian because everyone spoke Armenian there. My mother brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. He also started drinking coffee and he rolled the tobacco in a cigarette and started smoking. And then at last, sighing sadly, he said, my white horse which was stolen last month is still gone. After some time, he sadly sighed and said that my white horse was stolen last month and he was not able to find it still. I cannot understand it. He was not able to understand as to who must have stolen the horse. He was not able to find that horse. My uncle Khusro became very irritated and shouted, it's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? Uncle Khusro, as his habit was, he got irritated and he shouted at him that why are you crying over the loss of a horse? We lost our homeland and you are crying over just a horse. That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say, John Bairo said. But what of my Saray? What good is a Saray without a horse? So now John Bairo, he defended himself. He said that it is all very good for you. You are a city dweller. You live in the city only. So you can say this. But I, who lives in a village, and I have a Saray, that is a carriage which is drawn by the horse. And what is what good is a saree without a horse? And what will I do with that saree without a horse? He is not able to use his saree without the horse. Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khusrav roared. Like usual, he said, pay no attention to it. He shouted, I walked 10 miles to get here, John Barrow said. His village was 10 miles away, so he said that he complained that I have walked 10 miles to get here. You have legs, my uncle Khusrav shouted. To this, Uncle Khusrav said that you have legs, meaning thereby, so what if you have walked?